Hey guys, what's up? My name is Jamie Bowler and my wife, Lindsay Bowler, and I are the owners of the Red Elephant Studio. We're a photography studio located in Scottsville, Kentucky, and we are super excited to be joining you guys for some learning opportunities. We're going to talk about photography and art and just hopefully help you guys make some really cool projects and pictures while we're at it. Now, joining me tonight is my daughter.
I am Logan and I will be joining y'all for tonight, and thanks for joining.
She's with me tonight, and she herself is a student, and she likes to mess around with the camera and take some pictures sometimes. It's pretty fun, huh? Yeah, there it is right there. And then Lindsay will be joining me next time for our next video. So we are excited, guys, and we are ready to get started with you all. So our first lesson is going to be over composition. Now, what is composition? What in the world is composition? Can you tell me?
It is the stuff and the things around you that makes up your picture.
Very good. Very good. So composition, that's kind of a big fancy word, but basically it's everything that it takes to make a good picture, and that changes from picture to picture, but there are some aspects that make really strong and really good pictures. And we're going to talk about those tonight. So let's get started, guys. Our first lesson, like I said, is over composition. And there are several different things, several different aspects of composition that help to make your photo really, really good. So let's get started. Our first one is, of course, what's the first one?
Focal point.
Focal point. So what is that? Well, the first thing you got to do when you're taking a picture is what? What do you got to do?
You have to make what do you want people to look at in your picture?
Yeah. What is it that you want people to look at when they look at your picture? You got to decide where you want the viewer's eye to go. That's the first thing that you've got to do. Now, once you decide what you want to take a picture of, and it could be anything, guys. That's the cool thing about these classes and these challenges. It can be anything. It could be things inside of your house. It could be things outside. We just want you to get creative and have fun. But the first thing you got to do is decide what I want people to look at. Now, once you've decided what you want people to look at, here's the cool thing. We're going to give you some techniques and some aspects of composition that are going to make it easier for people to find what you want them to look at, okay? So the first thing that you can do when you want people to look at a certain place in your picture is what? She's trying to remember.
It's
the rule of thirds.
The rule of thirds.
The rule of thirds. Okay, so what is the rule of thirds, guys? Listen, you're not going to have any idea what that is, but we're going to make it really simple for you, okay? So on any camera, and it can be any camera. Now, it could be a digital camera like this one. It could be your phone. It could be your tablet. You use whatever you want. But what's cool about this, so if you're using your phone, you can set any phone up, any smartphone, so that when you open the camera up, you can see something like this on the screen. And you see those lines there? Those lines, they're making smaller blocks on my screen. Okay, this divides your camera up into thirds. And this gives you what we call the rule of thirds. Now that's still a little confusing. What does that mean? So let's dig a little bit deeper. But you can set your phone up so the screen looks like this, and it's really, really helpful. Any phone, this one's an iPhone, it could be any Android or anything like that, or your tablet, anything like that. Or if your parents or you, maybe you have a camera, a digital camera, the screen on the back will also have, you can put the lines on it as well so that you can see those little squares. Now, why do you want to see those little squares? So if you're going to use the rule of thirds, let's explain it like this. Ta-da! See our little grid here? Okay, so you can see our reflection on there, but see how we've got those little lines and we've got 9 different squares. when you're taking a picture, whatever you're taking a picture of that you want people to look at, you want to make sure that it is placed where these lines cross over each other. And you can see that's in 4 different spots. But if you put whatever you want people to look at in one of those 4 spots where those lines meet, it makes your picture really strong, and it makes it very easy for people to look at and find what you want them to. So remember, the rule of thirds simply is just that little grid on your screen, and make sure you put whatever object you're photographing where those lines cross over at. So make sure where those lines cross, that's where you put what you want people to look at, okay? The rule of thirds. Now, our next aspect of composition is
leading lines.
What is leading lines?
Leading lines is like, say you have a picture. Like, say I took a picture of, Dad took a picture of me. There are lines on our floor, and if I was standing in those lines, it would lead to me. Or if I was standing behind a gate, oh, you can see right behind us. These are leading lines on the window.
Very good. That's good. Awesome job. So, simply put, leading lines are anything that you can include in your picture that kind of help direct your viewer or direct people to look where you want them to. So, and that could be anything. Now, if you're outside, it could be fences, it could be power lines, it could be driveways, it could be the little yellow lines, the stripes that you see on your roads that you drive on. It could be like on our table here, you can see we've got some lines on it. It can be a lot of different things. And what you can do is use those things to create lines that kind of direct people where you want them to look. A good example of this is, let's say you're photographing a cow. Now, if you've got a cow and the cow is close to the fence, you can put the fence in your picture, and the lines on the fence you can use to help guide your viewer to look at the cow where you're wanting them to look. So leading lines. And remember, that can be anything, guys, anything. Leading lines can be found anywhere, and they help direct your viewer to where you want them to look, okay? And again, it's all we're trying to do is get people to look where we want them to look. So the next thing you can do is
odd numbers.
Odd numbers. Now, odd numbers, what is that? I'm sure all you guys know what odd numbers are. That's 1, 3, 5. Now, I don't mean actually using the number in your picture, but what I do mean is whatever you're photographing, if you're going to photograph more than one thing, so let's say you're using action figures out of your playroom, or, gosh, I don't know, rocks or trees. Maybe it's cows. Maybe you're going to take pictures of cows. People. Oh, gosh, how could I forget that? People. If you're going to photograph more than one thing, do it in odd numbers. So if you're doing action figures or rocks or people, do 3 people or do 5 people or do just 1 person. But you want to make it an odd number. And why would you want to do that? Because, believe it or not, people like to see odd number things in pictures. Why is that? I don't know. That's just what we tend to gravitate to when we're looking at pictures. So remember, if you're going to do more than one thing in your picture, make it an odd number, okay? Is that good? And then the last, but probably the most important part of this puzzle is
have fun.
Have fun, guys. That's what this is all about. We want you all to be creative and just to look around and look at things in a different way. So have fun when you're doing these challenges, okay? You can use any camera, any device you want to, okay? It can be your phone, it can be your tablet, it can be a little point and shoot camera. If your parents have a bigger camera like this, a digital camera, you can use it. You can use whatever you want, guys. It doesn't matter what type of camera you're using, okay? You make the great picture, not your camera, okay? So we want you all to have a blast. Listen, thank you all so much for joining us for this first lesson. We've got some more really cool lessons coming and some more really cool challenges that will hope you will tune in for. We hope it's helpful, and we hope you get excited about taking some pictures and learning some things about art. It's a really great thing to do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time. Thanks
See ya.
for joining.
Bye.
Bye.